Welcome back to my uncomplicated life. Life. Alrighty, y'all. Today we back with another video of the finance series part 5. Whoop whoop! So we be getting in we've been getting in deep with this financial series about budgeting, debt to income ratio, making income in general, all these types of things, not splurging. And today I'm getting into more about savings and the importance of having a savings, an emergency fund. So the cool thing about saving is, especially if you have a high yield savings account, look that term up if you're not familiar with it, is being able to have money available at a later time when you need it in a larger quantity than maybe a quantity you may have, in a month by month basis. Because you're saving it up for a time that it would be better needed, basically. Now, it's cool to, make sure that you're paying off bills, you're paying off debt, you're enjoying experiences and, that type of thing, putting your money toward things that matter and things that you can enjoy. But savings really shows self-discipline. It shows that you're not just based on instant gratification, that you can actually delay something until a later time. You have patience. You have the long suffering that it takes to be able to handle and hold on to something for a while. And it shows a lot about who you are and your character. Instead of just, splurging or just going off and getting rid of every single dollar you got. And I've been talking about in this series, even if 5 cents is all you could save, because if you're constantly paying off debts where they become so high, if your bills are so high, if it just doesn't seem like a lot, at least saving a small amount can get you in that mode, and you're like, oh, I see it building little by little over time, and you're like, okay, I can take it a little up further and maybe do $1. You may get up to $20, may get up to $100 per pay period, or whatever the case may be. So, but saving something to look forward to at a later time when you really need it is really helpful. You like to think of, like I mentioned, emergency fund as well. If something comes up later and it costs more than what you have in a week by week or month by month or whatever the case is, I think it'd be like, oh, well, thankfully I saved this up after a while because, I ended up needing it. It may be a medical cost. It may be a vacation that you wanted to go on. It may be even just, an event or something that costs a little more. You're like, oh, you saved it up after a while and you have it available. It can be furniture. It can be anything, an appliance, anything you need. Because you had it saved up for such a while, like you have that bulk lump sum to use to spend for it. Now, there are different types of savings accounts. So I talked about high yield. There's also like a savings account where a person may keep their money in there temporarily because they're saving for like a purchase that may not take long to save for, whether it's, highly expensive or not. Some people, regardless, it may not take them that long to save for it, depending on what it is and how much they make and that type of thing. Versus you may keep something in savings for a long term. You may keep money in your savings account for a long term to build it up even higher if you are able to. So some people, they do need it after a certain period of time. Like I said, for a medical expense, an event, a vacation, you're like, okay, I have enough saved to where I can utilize this for this reason. But there are some people that are like, by any means necessary, I'm not touching it unless it's an absolute emergency. da 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 da, whatever the case may be. And they may just use their spending money, their normal spending money, whenever they get that pay period to, book their flights as time goes by in advance. And that's another thing too. It is good to prepare for things in advance, and you can purchase things in advance with the income that comes in right away if you're doing it early, because you're not waiting till last minute where, flights may be a little more expensive than usual, depending on, what airlines you're booking. So, yeah, comment below in the comment section your thoughts on saving, building a savings, some things that you learned about, having a savings and that type of thing. Something you want to pass along to the next person. Because, we all have information, we all have ideas, and we can all help each other. The more information that's spread, the more that we each can learn. And so that's really awesome to know that, like, we can definitely network and help each other to learn new things. But definitely, it really is good to save something. It's the bottom line of what I'm saying. Save something. Like I saved 5 cents. It may even be 1 penny at one point. All you have is 1 cent. Save it. Save it. It'll build over time. It is best to try and get a higher amount as much as possible. Because, if you have a high yield savings account, they go based off a percentage. Well, any account goes off percentage, but it is a higher percentage basically. And so it's like the more you put in there, the more that account would reward you with. So, as much as possible, even if you like combining budgeting, the point I was making in my last video about budgeting, you combine budgeting with saving, you can be like, oh, well, the money I would have spent on new sneakers that I don't need, I can actually put that in my savings account, and then it can build up and accrue that interest being money that you're being rewarded with. So this is not the same as like interest on a loan that you got to pay back. In your savings account, you don't have to pay this back. They're gifting you this interest. It's a reward. It's a gift for keeping your money in there, especially for a certain period of time and the amount of money you're keeping in there. So be mindful of that. And don't forget also to pray about all your finances, whether it be your budgeting, whether it be your savings, whether it be gaining income, not splurging, whatever it is. The Lord loves when we rely on Him and when we surrender to Him and submit to His will. And so it shows that you trust Him when you talk to Him about what's going on. When you talk to Him about how you feel about your finances, what your goals are, and allow Him to lead, guide, and direct you. I hope you all have a lovely, blessed day. Take care. May God bless you all. In Jesus' name. Peace.